Hello. Decades ago, I worked with Dick Martens when we were in the Navy in San Diego. At that time, we also shared a totally uneventful bachelor pad. Uh, I'd come from an aircraft carrier in the Mediterranean, and Dick had come from an amphibious ship in the Pacific. Amphibious. That's an adjective that derives from the noun amphibian, which is a creature that goes up on land and down underneath the water. That's two things U.S. Navy officers, by tradition, are not supposed to allow to happen. Dick was the first lieutenant on that ship, a kind of deck officer, the guy who's supposed to know the ropes, literally and figuratively. More about that shortly. The Navy may not have been the best choice for a young man from Kansas. I mean, honestly, where do you go when you want to get as far away as possible from salt water? Kansas. And where do you find an environment that is completely unlike the ocean, with its perpetual stultifying flatness? Kansas. Dick once gave a hint about this unsuitable choice of careers when we were standing looking out at the ocean, and it's the Pacific Ocean, so the waves were about 6 inches high. And Dick said, "Whoa, will you get a look at the height of those waves? They're taller than the mountains we had back in Kansas." Well, yeah. Although he did try very hard to become a man of the sea. He took sailing lessons, and he would go out sailing any chance he could get. When he started this hobby, it was like every day had become talk like a pirate day. He'd come into the room and he'd say, "And might you be Jim Hawkins?" And I would say, "No, I'm Jim Nepler." He would create incoherent jumbles of nautical terms like, "Aye, lad, don't left your boom crutch on the starboard quarter now." If I was heading toward the restroom, he would usually say something like, "Arr, you best be running that exhaust fan when you're manning the poop deck, you hear?" Yeah, this was his Long John Silver phase. And during this time, he was pretty much insufferable. One Sunday afternoon, he came home with a cast on his arm, from his thumb all the way up to the top of his arm. And I said, "Dick, what happened?" He said, "Oh, a rope hit my thumb." A rope hit his thumb. Of course, in fairness, Dick can be forgiven if he didn't learn the ropes during his tour as a first lieutenant. The rope they have back in Kansas is a lot softer than the kind the Navy uses. That rope back there is made from corn silk, I hear. Of course, no true Navy man would ever get caught using the word rope for that long stringy thing that all the rest of us call rope. They use the term line. If you use the word rope inappropriately, you'll subject yourself to endless derision and maybe even one of those ancient shipboard sanctions like walking the plank. Now, although Dick may not have learned the rule of thumb about ropes, he certainly does know his lines. Straight lines, punch lines, one-liners. In fact, it's a good bet that most of you out there have 2 or 3 favorite jokes that you first heard from this man. So, if Dick and all his family and friends gathered here tonight can forgive my painfully bad lines, I'd like to summarize by saying that they are directed with great warmth and without fear of giving offense to a man with the most spontaneous and endearing sense of humor. a man of exceptional intelligence, honesty, and sincerity, and it is my privilege to join you all in honoring him on this, his 70th birthday. Happy birthday, Dick.